You know what's something we haven't done in a while, in forever? We have not done a Flashback Friday. I had planned to do one while I was in Kansas last week, but that got skipped out. So, this is Flashback Friday 2023. And our first story, our first Flashback Friday issue, comes just earlier this season. Who could forget, just 10 days ago, we focused in on teacher-student sex scandals. Why does it ever happen? Or teacher-student relationships. Why does it never happen? There may be some things I may have missed. These things always happen because the teachers don't have the common sense. Actually, it's the kids who also don't have the common sense when it comes to these things. If you Google up these articles about this, the issues stem to mind here. When it comes to this, there are laws. Like just what happened here when an Orange teacher was alleged in a public relationship was the first reported weeks later. This is from Lincoln, Nebraska, where a teacher was arrested for having sex with a student. That's statutory rape in any of the 50 states. And like we talked about on that episode, in any of the 50 states where you live in, whether it's Nebraska, Texas, California, Florida, any city, any state, any county you live in, that's statutory rape. You have sex with a minor, that's statutory rape. Now that comes right after I watched a Montel Williams episode all about these teachers doing sex scandals. It is not a relationship. It is called rape. Exceed the statute of limitations. Well, I am happy to say, after this one, there was another one that happened. Just hours ago, there was another relationship that happened just hours ago. In Kansas, in Pottawatomie County, Kansas, they sentenced two former teachers for an inappropriate relationship with a student. If you think that's harsh, it is a lot harsher than you think. The now adult victim was a student at high school when the relationship began in December 2019. She was not a student of this. Well, she was not a student. So, when you look at something like this, obviously it gets to you should not be doing this, because if you do so, you could get in trouble with the law. That's one of the main issues that we have not talked about here. So, now let's look at the laws. Under DO 49, teachers are expected to avoid relationship interactions, communications, including following social media with learners outside the school setting, except if they're with relatives. So, the common sense perspective about this common sense alert.
Huge portion of what I do here on YouTube is all about researching, writing my videos, emailing people that I work with, and that means my...
You should never be doing these sex scandals. If you do so, you're gonna be fired. You're gonna be fired, and like Jennifer Caswell, the school became suspicious, so she decided to continue the relationship. I'm gonna resign. that's part of what happened when we first talked about this just 10 days ago. So, the bottom line here is this. These sex scandals are very, very inappropriate. And if you do so, you could be in a lot of trouble. Watch what you do. Statutory rape in 50 states. That's statutory rape. All right. Now, who could forget the 4-day school week? 2 months ago, we talked about a 4-day school week that could happen. We'll actually look at that when we return as we continue our Flashback Friday. Stay with us. Alright, it's Flashback Friday here at GMB. And in this next story right here, 2 months ago we focused in on our 4-day school week. Let's take a look at a clip from the broadcast.
Breaking down each calendar, the community asked questions and gave
farmers insurance. There's no need to
Reynolds Fed has presented 3 separate options for school calendars. Earlier this evening, the Kingsville community met to discuss the district's consideration to moving to a 4-day school week and their options for changing the school calendar. Superintendent Dr. Sissy Reynolds Fed has presented 3 separate options for school calendars. Option 1 and 2 are pretty similar, with normal 5-day schedules and earlier start dates for the beginning and end of the school. Option 3 would have 4.5 days, where certain days all students would attend. Some days would be for those in organizations or doing credit recovery, and others would be for professional work days for teachers. After breaking down each calendar, the community asked questions and gave their input.
Now you may ask, so which one do you or anybody up here or any of our central office leaders are y'all trying to push for? We are not trying to push for anything.
I think that all 3 calendars more reflect on the older kids versus the littler kids. The traditional school calendar, the way that we are now, is perfectly fine. I think it puts the student first versus anything else.
A survey has been posted to the district's website asking students, parents, and teachers to vote on one of the calendar options. It also breaks down each option and lists a number of questions that have been raised pertaining to each one along with the answers. The survey will be live for the next 2 weeks, and once the superintendent hears from everyone, she expects to take the matter to a school board vote on April 4th. Now, 3 News spoke with leaders. The top tonight.
Sorry about that. There's still a lot more ahead, and there's still a lot more to this, so we'll have that for you coming up. But still ahead. Now, after that, Flower Bluff decided to do the same thing, but CCISD decided not to go through with this. I'm glad CCISD was standing up to the plate saying not to do this, but Flower Bluff may not be doing this. That was on the agenda, but we may not know what goes on until we look at the 2023-2024 school year, which the calendar is going to be posted on July, so I'll keep you updated what's been going on. Now, who can remember 2 months ago, we focused in on these violence in video games. We talked about this years ago, but during that time, we also focused in on the rating system. Take a preview. 3 years ago on this broadcast, we focused in on violence in video games. We showed you the rating system, but now this is an updated version. And a bit shortly here, you're going to see me playing an M-rated game that I'm playing right now, Watch Dogs 2. That game is rated M for mature, meaning its content is unsuitable for kids under 18. We're also going to talk about what's appropriate to give to your child under the age of 18 at the section of the ESRB. So, before we play that, let's get into the rating system. Now, E for everyone basically means content is generally suitable for all ages, may contain minimal cartoon, fantasy, or mild violence, and/or infrequent mild use of mild language. E10, content is generally suitable for ages 10 and up, may contain more cartoon, fantasy, or mild violence, mild language, and/or minimal suggestive themes. Teen, content is generally suitable for ages 13 and up, may contain violence, suggestive themes, crude humor, minimal blood, simulated gambling, and/or infrequent use of strong language. Now, the big one here is M. Content is generally suitable for ages 17 and up. May contain intense violence, blood and gore, sexual content, and/or strong language. Now, pertaining from this video, you may have seen all my video games that I have. That's the same collection I have right here, containing E, T, E, E10, T, and M. So when you look at the rating system, what you have to do is to make sure that you know what you're doing. For parents out there, it's like, what do I do? Well, I think earlier that 2 months ago, I think I showed you some commercials or TV ads all about this. I think it was in part 2. Let's find out. Alright, spring break is over, but there are plenty of people in the hospital because of a new TikTok challenge called... We'll get to that in a second. Now, who can remember the TikTok challenge during spring break? 2 months ago during spring break, we focused in on a TikTok challenge, the Borg challenge. It's to where it's mixed up with a lot of alcohol. Let's take a look. Let's take a look at that episode. Alright, spring break is over, but there are plenty of people in the hospital because of a new TikTok challenge called the Borg challenge. It's the blackout rage gallon thing that's going on all around the world. You're about to meet tonight you're going to meet some college kids who took the challenge, and some ended up in the hospital. Take a look.
Tonight, even on St. Patrick's Day, colleges putting out alerts about the latest TikTok trend to make a splash on campuses. The wave of excess drinking concerning officials. Blackout rage gallons, or Borgs, are a punch-like mixture of vodka, water, flavored electrolytes, and caffeine, enough to fill a gallon jug, all reserved for one person, and topped off with a punny label. Some claiming the electrolytes and water help curb hangovers, but experts warn Borging is still binge drinking.
However you slice it, drinking 8 to 16 shots of alcohol in a short period of time is still drinking 8 to 16 shots of alcohol, whether it's straight from the bottle or whether it's in your own gallon jug with a funny name on it.
Just last week, 28 ambulances were called at UMass Amherst for the annual student-run Blarney Blowout.
I'd say that was definitely the good choice for the event.
Eamon Elfikir, a senior at UMass Amherst, vlogged this year's event.
I just got there and I just see all these gallons with like these weird puns. Everybody was shoulder to shoulder. It's like literally the size of a football field. I saw a lot of kids who were very drunk.
The university in town blaming the controversial drink for the rampant hospitalizations. School officials saying it was the first time the university had observed notable use of Borgs, and they'll consider steps to improve alcohol education and intervention and communicate with students and families. The drink becoming so popular, Boston University even warning its students about the risks ahead of St. Patrick's Day, asking students to consider safer alternatives like using less alcohol and skipping the caffeine.
If you don't want to drink, you don't have to. You don't have to put any alcohol in your Borg, and nobody would know the difference.
Erin Monroe is a preventionist with more than 10 years experience working in schools and on college campuses.
What we're trying to do is really to empower these young people to make healthier decisions.
And if officials are pleading with students and parents to understand nothing about a Borg, they say, makes it safe. Not the water, not the electrolytes, because again, a lot of these recipes online call for up to 17 shots. That's roughly a fifth of hard alcohol, the effects of which are often masked by the caffeine until the person gets dangerously drunk.
It's the latest drinking craze. College kids are partying with gallon-sized jugs that they call a Borg. Borg stands for Blackout Rage Gallon.
My name is Kevin Morgan. I'm Scotty Morgan.
And too many of them are winding up in the ER. Last weekend, 46 students at the University of Massachusetts at Amherst were hospitalized during a pre-St. Patrick's Day Borg challenge.
Just in my way.
It could be, a recipe for disaster if you're drinking a lot of alcohol in large volumes over a quick period of time.
Good morning, spring breakers. And now with spring break underway, many are concerned that Borging could promote binge drinking. How-to videos are all over TikTok.
I'm going to show you how to make my Borg.
They buy gallon-sized water jugs like this, then add vodka or rum, a color sweetener, and an electrolyte supplement to help avoid hangovers.
I add some liquid IV so we don't get hungover.
Shake it up.
Taste test.
They even write clever slogans on the jars. This woman recorded herself seemingly getting more and more wasted.
I'm halfway through my Borg. I finished my Borg.
Dr. Tucker Woods of Lenox Hill Hospital in New York says it's important to know your limits when you're mixing a Borg.
Even though the name is Blackout Rage Gallon, that has its shock value. That should never be your intention. I want to make that clear from the get-go.
Ooh. The less alcohol, the better. And he says drinking too much too fast can have dire consequences.
When you choose to behave, you choose the consequences. That leads us to our common sense alert. If you're going to make a Borg, water in it. No caffeine drinks. Just have water or food coloring in it. That way you can make it like a Borg. Colored water. That's your Borg. No alcohol. They can taste it and nobody will know the difference. And for people that drank it, you're idiots out there. This woman who we saw just minutes ago, who drank it, she's an idiot for making it, and people are idiots for posting how-to videos on this issue. Take a look at these two.
Everyone is making Borgs for spring break, so let me show you how to make one. Start off with 1 gallon of water, pour about half of it out, grab any regular sized vodka you like, and pour the whole damn thing in. Next, grab any water enhancer. I got lemonade Mio, and pour it right on in, baby. 2 hydration packs. Close it up, give it a good shake. Last but not least, if you're going out to a party, you gotta name that stuff. We got that little Borg, James. Yes, sir.
And here's what we got. We got Borg your mama because your mama don't want you drinking no alcohol. I don't drink, I don't do drugs. That's great for me. Maybe great for you, but common sense would tell you drinking is bad. Gets you drunk. It kills brain cells. Coming up next, more on violent video games from yesterday. From an E game to an E10 game. Stay with us. And stay with us, who's coming up next, part of our Flashback Friday. We're continuing the violence in video games. From these advertisements that you always see. About the rating systems. Stay with us. 3 years ago and 2 months ago, we focused in on violence in video games. But there was one clip that I have not showed you during that time because I'm a fan to make it copyrighted. But for risk purposes, I'm showing it to you. Now, just take a look.
The next thing I needed to do was to educate this family about the video games rating system. Only 21% of kids say that their parents have any rules about the video games they can play. So this is information that a lot of families need to hear.
Lesson today. Game ratings. Alright? What does it mean?
Everyone?
What's this one?
Well, that elite 10, you have to be 10, but you can't be under 10 to play those.
I didn't know that there was a E10 and up. I thought that any E-game was suitable for my kids.
What's that one, Dad?
Teenagers, 13 and up.
What's this one?
M for mature, meaning a game not found in our house.
I played an M game before, but I don't know them all.
What was the M game like?
Shooting, cussing, robbing, and killing.
That was just a small portion. So, what do you kids learn? Well, in the neighbor's house, you can't play that game, you can't play those games, but the neighbor's parents ought to know. I mean, let me play you that example. Let's go back to our example 2 months ago to where we talked about this. Let's go to part 1. On language. Here, we focused in on the reason for having it was because of Mortal Kombat. We also focused in on GTA 3. Focused in on Rob's rants. Now let's get to where I play Watch Dogs 2. As you've seen, kids play A&M games, say that it gets their anger out, so and so, but according to experts, games like Grand Theft Auto and this game I'm about to show you, Watch Dogs 2, can really have violent tendencies and aggression. Can it really? Let's try an experiment. What I'm playing right now is Watch Dogs 2. A popular video game made by Ubisoft, and it's rated M for mature. Let's take a look. So in this one, you are escaping Aztec Island. You, the player, you are Marcus. And now because you have the escaped prisoner, you are escaping Aztec Island. See, I got killed. Now let's take a look at that episode from 3 years ago. Here's a short preview of here's a flashback what I did 3 years ago.
There was yes, everything in it. Blood and gore. Intense violence.
I think you probably get the picture. Now, we also played E games and T games. We showed you what makes it different is we gave you the history of the ESRB, which here's where I played Kingdom Hearts. I guess that's what I mean by that. Stay with us. And it can also Kingdom Hearts games. Stay with us. Sometimes with E games, they may contain violence or mild lyrics. This is the case right here. An E game which has nothing on it. Wheel of Fortune, the most popular game show ever. I also played Wheel of Fortune. Went back to Kingdom Hearts 2. Played an E10 game.
Tap into your community, see what they're in support
I think that was it. But there is one point we have not showed. When we come back, I'm going to show you those ESRB PSAs that you see on TV that could really help out any parent ever. Stay with us. Alright, it's Flashback Friday. Now, months ago we talked about violence in video games, which I talked about 3 years ago. But there's one thing we have not focused on, and was the advertisements, the PSAs, for these ESRBs. Something that parents need to be teaching their kids. 21% of parents say they really have rules. Rules all about this, so it was really some information for a lot of parents to understand. Because you can't just go buy a video game and expect them to play and then learn all the curse words, fuck, bitch, all that stuff. And then they go learn that at school, and it's like, where did you learn it from? A game? Then they connect the dots. That's why the PSA series you're about to see could really help. There were 7 of them. Now there could be 8. Let's take a look at all of them.
Come on. Can I get winner?
Sure you can, kid. What you got there? Oh, just buying a video game for my son. What's the rating? Rating? Yeah, the rating. See, this one here is T for teen. And here you got content descriptors telling you what's in the game. And if you need more information, you look up rating summaries right here on your phone. Wow, thanks. Son, I don't think this is a game for us. Hey, maybe you should get this one. This kid's a natural.
For more information, visit esrb.org.
Hey guys, can I get next?
Here you go, kid. Hey, aren't you... Yep, Vocal Song and Posy. Did you check the rating? Rating? Yeah, it's simple. Always check the rating symbol on the front and read the content descriptor on the back. And if you need more information, you can look up rating summaries right from your phone. Thanks, guys. Son, I don't think this game is for us. Maybe you should get this one. This kid can play.
For more information, visit esrb.org.
Yep, we're going to help her. I think you need a box check. A box check? That's simple. Always check the rating symbols on the front, read the content descriptors on the back. You know, a box check. Yes! What's good solid chicken? Hey, thanks, guys. Son, I don't think this game's for us. Maybe you should get this one. This kid got some skills.
For more information, visit esrb.org.
Come on, Dad. Can I get one?
Here you go, kid.
Thanks.
Hey, I think you need a box check. Box check? Yeah, it's simple. Always check the rating symbol on the front, read the content descriptor on the back. You know, a box check.
Yes!
And if you need more information, you can look up the rating summaries right from your phone.
Hey, thanks, guys. Son, I don't think this game's for us.
Hey, maybe you should get this one. This kid's got some skills.
For more information, visit esrb.org.
ESRB stands for Entertainment Software Rating.
This is the last one.
Sometimes I want more information about what's in a video game.
Now, there's a new way to get rating information along with in-depth rating summaries.
Players shoot lasers from an arm cannon and limbs fly off.
Check the rating and use rating summaries anytime and anywhere. And best of all, they're free.
Formula One Racing.
For more information about the ratings and rating summaries, go to esrb.org/mobile.
The key point here is to look at the front and the back. Let's take a look at another one.
With video games, I'm always choosing between what my kids want and what I think is best for them. How about this one? Which is why I love these new rating summaries. They let me know exactly what's in the game. Players shoot lasers from an arm cannon. Robot enemies explode and limbs fly off. Maybe that other one's better. Yeah. Get your free game rating summary today, and with it, the world's most powerful weapon, knowledge.
Exactly. Let's turn our attention to the shelf. See this? All these video games. So if I were to pick out a game, what I would do is I would go like this. Get this one, look at the rating system, then look on the back. And I would say to son, I don't think this game is for us. However, then you go to suggestions saying, someone saying, hey, why don't you try out this game? The kid's got skills. This will be perfect. Now alerts, that's perfect. It's a sports game. But more information can be found. You can download the ESRB app on your mobile phone via Apple or Android, or on your Samsung phone. Or, what you can do, or if you have a laptop or computer, go on their website to learn more. That's at www.esrb.org. And if you'd like more information about the rating system, we'll have that on our newsletter, which is at givemeabreak.new, which is at givemeabreak. Which is on our Give Me a Break newsletter, with tips and information for parents out there. Another example would be, that's the second example. Just go on their website, look up a game you need, and it'll help pop up. The first game, if the child's playing video game for the first time, don't just go for the T, go for the E's. The sports, the game shows. Then as they get older, move up to the violence, fantasy violence. Then we move to 10, you go E10, then teen, mature, etc. But for mature, there are points to where you have to show ID. Here's another one.
Looking for a date or the love of your life, you know where to find us and them.
Sorry about that. There you go.
Computer and video games can be great fun for everyone in your family. I'm Richard Cody, former New Jersey governor. As a parent, I recommend making sure your family's video games are suitable for playing. Always check the ratings, which help you decide if the game is appropriate for your children, and activate the parental controls to block out games rated for older players. These tools will help ensure your family's video games are fun and appropriate.
It's a lot of information that parents need to understand. If you don't know that information, you're screwed. You may be thinking, I'm going to go get so-and-so this and this. I mean, this is what the app looked like. Take a look.
When choosing a video game, the ESRB rating is a great place to start. But for parents wanting more information, the ESRB also offers a free mobile app, providing exactly the kind of detail they need, right from the store when it's needed most.
Rating summaries are brief, descriptive summaries of the content that factored into a rating assignment. So for those parents who want to go beyond the ratings, it's a great source of information.
To download the app, search ESRB from your iPhone, Android, or Windows Phone.
Or at the website. That's www.esrb.org. All information. We'll be reaching our Give Me Break newsletter. That is givemebreak. Which is on our newsletter. One second, I'm trying to remember. Alright. I'm trying to remember the newsletter. I might try to remember here, but it's gonna be on a Give Me Break newsletter. Just bear with me here. I'm trying to understand here. But our flashback Friday continues when we return. Please stay with us. Before we move on, I finally remembered our newsletter. Maybe you may think you're so dumb. I'm sorry here, but if you want to learn information about the ESRB says what to do, we'll have that on our newsletter at givemebreak.substack.com with information and tips for all parents, as well as these advertisement videos and the 3 episodes of what I talked about on this issue. Now, continuing our Flashback Friday here from earlier this season. Do you remember just 1 month ago we focused on airport safety and airport security? Well, there was one thing we have not touched here. That is your ears. That's right. You know what I'm getting at. When you're flying an airplane, you want to make sure that your ears are still active or still working. So, what do? Well, there are 2 to 3 possible ways. It's a case called airport ear, and it gets so annoying. So what do? It's called airplane ear. It happens to where you don't chew gum. and after a long flight, your ears can be blocked. Here are 4 ways that you can do to help unblock it. The first one is try the top bone with you. It's a simple technique you can do in the plane, in the car, on the way to a hotel, anywhere else for that matter, provided that you don't mind people seeing you do it. Start by pinching your nose. Take a couple sips of water to help you swallow. Let me show you an example here. Actually, I have one right here. Okay, what you do. Like that. But don't pinch it too hard. Otherwise it won't work. The Vaseline maneuver. Like that method, so you pinch your nose, then close your mouth and blow softly. Be careful not to blow as hard or it's going to damage your eardrums. The third way is you try chewing gum or sucking candy. Swallowing activates the muscles that will open the tube, but sometimes alone isn't enough to unblock your ears. Chewing gum, sucking on candy while swallowing liquid can help encourage the tubes in your ears to open once more. Steam. Just like we congested with a flu, with a cold or a flu, steam can help unblock your ears. Boil some water and then pour into a large bowl. Wrap a towel, place your head over the bowl, not too close, and place the towel over your head and sit so it creates a cover for the trap to steam. Breathe in steam for 5 to 10 minutes until you feel your ears open again. A long shower during combination can also have a similar effect. Those are some of the methods you can use to help prevent airplane ear. And if you can also get some earplugs that will help you out. You can get these airplanes healthcare earplugs for travel. And these can really help. If you don't have these, you're screwed. But you can do the gum method. You can do those methods. So I should have showed you the example. But I think my ears are working good. Very good. So I recommend you get the earplane earplugs. Those really help out great. I haven't tried them yet, but that's the next time I'm flying on a plane. I'm going to think about getting those. The symptoms of this can be moderate discomfort or pain in your ear, feeling of fullness or stuckness in your ear, muffled hearing, or slight to moderate hearing loss. The duration of this could last a few minutes. It lasts longer. If it lasts longer, here's what you need to do. You may need treatment for an infection or another problem. Serious damage, such as burst eardrum, may take a few months to heal. Sometimes you may need surgery to repair the eardrum or the opening of the middle ear. Causes of this. The risk factors for airplane ear include small something tube, and if it's toddlers, common cold, acute or chronic sinus or something media, and napping on the airplane during rapid pressure charge in your middle ear. So next time you're airplane ear, just remember those methods. That way you'll have some hearing, and you can hear again. All right. Do you remember Bambi? We still don't know who was the killer, but it's like JonBenet Ramsey. No one knows who killed little JonBenet Ramsey. We don't know of it. But there could be clues. And back in 2021, a year ago, we focused in on the JonBenet Ramsey case from a former detective who told his side of the story. But yet we still don't know who killed little JonBenet Ramsey. You don't remember, the parents were involved in this, and the parents say they didn't do it. Lots of listed suspects, they say they didn't do it. But there's still no updates on the case. But back in February, Fox News did an article about Millie on her documents revealed DNA did not match key players in the early unsolved slaying. And according to this article from Fox, the lab results from this PDF document show about what happened. The panties did not have any tests on them, but it was a mystery. That was all the evidence alive, but we still don't know who the killer is. So, if there's a killer out there, then we'll keep you posted. Now, who can remember Coma? A little boy named Alex was walking across the street, and it hits him lying unconscious. A doctor decides to do treatment that would help out victims in a coma. You also met some victims who were in a coma. I've watched this several years ago. Believe me, it was unlike any experience ever. Now, who can remember those smoke detectors? We talked about those smoke detectors. If you saw that 2020 report from 2 months ago, back in 1996, which was 2 months ago, you know exactly why they don't work and what you need to do. Now, who can remember Yolanda Saldivad? You heard her tell her side of the story about when she killed Selena, when she said she didn't. Prosecutors argue that it was just an accident. But a lot of people have said that she killed him. She killed her. But no one knows what happened. Now, 3 months ago, who can remember this excused versus unexcused? On the show and tell excused versus unexcused. We looked at excused absences and unexcused absences. Unexcused are things like, I had to go babysit. I slept in. I was watching TV. Those are unexcused absences. But if you're at a doctor's office, you got to provide them with the doctor's note saying you were at the doctor's. And they could, and that won't be taken care of. Unexcused absences can also lead you into truancy court. Whoa. Didn't see that. Sorry about that. Which we talked about for several years on this broadcast. I didn't see that there. I'm really sorry. For years, we talked about truancy court and what you need to do. But yeah, I think you probably know. But I don't know what was I going to say here. Yeah. All right. Who can remember dressing out for PE? 3 months ago we talked about this. Let me tell you. I've always dressed out for PE, but in junior high, you had to wear their t-shirt and shorts. And you didn't do that, then you would get a failing grade. In high school, you had to wear a t-shirt, shorts, closed-toed shoes, no boots, pants, jeans, pajama bottoms, flip-flops, slippers. None of that. So, I gotta tell you this. Dress up for PE, it's very important. When we come back, our final item for Flashback Friday, including one of my favorite revival breaks. Stay with us. Years ago, we focused on in-school suspension versus out-of-school suspension. Out-of-school suspension is when you're out of school. In-school suspension is when you sit in a room. Well, it caught my eye with one of the videos that I've seen right here. We showed on Flowback Thursday. Really got my attention. Take a look.
Hello, I'm Mr. Williams, the teacher of ISS, or in-school suspension. I'm here to talk to you about the class expectations and the dress code. Class expectations. Upon entering the room, all cell phones, iPods, earbuds, and any other electronic device will be turned in and will be stored under lock and key, kept there for the duration of the academic day. Backpacks and purses are not allowed at the school, but if you brought a backpack or a purse, it will be searched, it will be turned in, and it will be kept for the duration of the day. Upon entering the room, you will be assigned a seat, and that will be your seat, and you will sit there unless instructed to sit in a different location. There will be no talking, there will be no socializing throughout the academic day unless instructed either by myself or a supervising teacher or staff. There will be no outside food. So in other words, there will be no McDonald's, no hot Cheetos, no Arizona tea or Monster brought to you by yourself or by someone else. You will always be supervised by a supervising teacher or myself at all times. It is a district policy that anyone that is in ISS do not have any socialization or communication with an AFC student, a Cal student, or a Fairview student. Dress code. The dress code is you will wear the white shirt and yellow tie that was issued to you. It will be tucked in. You will wear the appropriate pants and shorts for the school. There will be absolutely no sagging in this class. There will be no open-toe shoes, slippers, or sandals worn in ISS. There will be no basketball shorts. There will be no sweatpants or pajamas worn in ISS. All earrings, gauges, or piercings will be taken out prior to entering the room. And finally, there will be no hats, beanies, or any type of headgear worn inside the classroom. Any violation of the expectations or the dress code will result in an immediate phone call home or a visit by the principal or assistant principal, and in worst case, you will receive another day in ISS. Thank you.
Now, one example of this was Jack Doherty, who had in-school suspension because he was doing his videos. At that point in time, he filmed himself being in ISS. The principal called on him saying, and he got another day of ISS. Now, our viral break. One of my favorite viral breaks was when was really that fight that happened where I don't want to explain to you, but here's our viral break here. When you have ISS in school, but it's with the cool teacher. Take a look.
Order the bird with 24/7 lasting freshness of bullets.
Good down here right now, Principal Morrison. 10-4. What you need? You gotta use the bathroom? Come here. Let me give you a pass. Come here. Come here. Don't be gone too long. Go ahead. It ain't too many of y'all in here. Now, I ain't too hard on y'all. Alright? Because I know some of y'all. Some of y'all are repeat offenders. Okay? So listen, look, I need y'all to be a little bit more quiet because you know the principal roaming the hallway. Yeah, and there's not a lot of y'all in here, so she gonna know. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna need y'all to shh. Alright? And some of y'all got y'all's phones because this ain't y'all's first rodeo. Yeah, I know, but I ain't gonna say nothing. I ain't even see nothing happen. Right? So I'm gonna need y'all to be more discreet with it. If you're gonna check your phone, don't have it all up in your face. Because they watching. Even when they're not watching, they watching. Chris, come here. Come here. What in the world did you do to get 2 weeks ISS? 2 weeks, Chris? I mean, come on now, bro. Come on, I thought we was doing good. Come on now, we're damn near friends, Chris. Chris, you was smoking in the bathroom? What was you smoking? Okay, vape, baby, it ain't that bad, it's just vape. Come on now, you gotta do better. Come on, I'll be rooting for you. I'll be rooting for you, I'll be taking up for you. Yeah, they be talking about you, principal, and God's counsel. Lord have mercy, they be like, oh, he this, he that. I be like, no, you know you got a lot going on at home. You know, I be having your back. Come on now, do better. Do better. I don't want to see you in here no more. All right? I don't want to see you in here no more. Hey, where you going? Come here. Come back. Come back. Come back.
Wow. That is why you never have cool teachers, you have strict teachers in ISS. Just understand though, if you're in ISS, you sit there and do your work. They give you your work. That's how ISS is done. Well, that's it for this Flashback Friday. We'll see you again for going to Saturday. I don't know what we got planned on Saturday, but we'll see you again for Game Work Saturday. For everyone here at YouTube, have a good night.